What's the scariest thing that happened to you as a kid? I randomly woke up at 3 in the morning and a man was standing in my doorway just watching me sleep. The hall was pitch dark behind him and my heart jumped in my chest before I recognized the tall shape. "Daddy?" I whispered while squinting to see his face better through the darkness. He didn't answer and took a small step into my room. I had a bad dream. He walked over slowly and sat on the edge of my mattress. The bed creaked louder than usual. I reached out for a hug and his arms wrapped around me, but they felt stiff and uncomfortable, like he didn't really want to be touching me. That's when I smelled him. He didn't smell like Dad's cologne. He smelled like cigarettes and something else that burned my nose. Dad never smoked because he said it was gross. "Daddy, you smell weird," I said into his chest while he was still holding me. His breathing stopped and his body went completely rigid, like I'd said something really bad. His shirt was damp with sweat even though it was cold. He patted my back 3 times, exactly like he was counting them out in his head. "Go back to sleep, sweetie," he said, but his voice was completely different from Dad's normal voice. It was deeper and scratchy, like he had a sore throat. "Everything is fine. You have school tomorrow." The sentences came out choppy. "I need to go potty first," I told him while trying to pull away from the hug. His fingers dug into my shoulders and his arms tightened around me for just a second, squeezing me before letting go completely. His fingernails felt sharp through my pajama top. "Make it quick and get right back in bed," he said while standing up from my bed. The mattress bounced back fast. He walked backward toward my door while watching me the whole time, never turning around. His eyes looked shiny in the dark. I went to the bathroom and locked the door. When I came out 5 minutes later, he was gone. I laid in bed for hours, too afraid to sleep and trying to figure out what was wrong with Dad. His footsteps had been heavier, and I'd noticed he had been wearing dirty work boots instead of being barefoot like Dad always was at home. The boots left mud chunks on my floor that I could see in the moonlight. The more I thought about it, the more wrong everything seemed, but I kept telling myself I was imagining things. Maybe Dad was sick or had been working late in the garage fixing something important. Maybe he had been helping our neighbor, and that's why he smelled like cigarettes. I pulled my blanket over my head and squeezed my eyes shut. At some point, I must have fallen asleep because Mom's scream woke me up around 7 in the morning. "Call 911 right now!" she yelled at Dad from somewhere downstairs. I heard Dad's actual voice for the first time that morning, and it sounded nothing like the voice from last night. I ran out of my room and saw them both standing in the living room, surrounded by empty spaces where our stuff used to be. Our huge TV was gone, and the PlayStation was missing. They took everything valuable we own. Mom was crying while Dad called the police on his cell phone. "The back door was pried open, and they went through the whole first floor," Dad explained. I could see the splintered door frame from where I stood. My whole body turned to ice when Dad continued talking to the police dispatcher. "No, we were all asleep upstairs and didn't hear anything strange at all," he said. "We just woke up and found everything gone this morning when we came downstairs." Mom suddenly looked up at me standing frozen on the stairs. Her face was pale. "Thank God they didn't come upstairs where you were sleeping," she said while wiping her tears. My legs started shaking so bad I had to sit down on the step. The man in my room hadn't been Dad at all, but some stranger who was robbing our house. He stood there watching me sleep, and I had hugged him. The detective said I was lucky because he must have gotten spooked when I talked to him. If I hadn't woken up, he might have taken me too.